Well, Jeff Burney has spent 10 years perfecting his craft. He even quit his job as an engineer at Bell Canada in order to devote himself to his art. Now, after years of work, he's getting his big break. An edition in the funny pages of the Ottawa Citizen. Jeff's comic strip, Attica, is starting a 6-week trial run today in the paper's comics section. And Jeff Burney joins us in the studio this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Stu.
Thanks for coming in.
It's very nice to be here.
Tell me what Attica is all about.
Well, it's the name of a province in ancient Greece. Capital city was Athens. I think people would be familiar with Athens, and I set the comic strip there because I wanted to base it around some citizens of the city who are called up to defend it in a state of crisis. They're looking at an invasion from an army next door, which is the city of Sparta. So that's the premise for the strip.
Why that? I mean, it's fantastic, I guess, if you got a blank slate, you want to start a new comic strip, and some are set in lagoons, some are set in a doghouse. I mean, you can go anywhere. Why did you choose this?
Yeah, you can build your universe, and I wanted
great.
something that would be a personal interest of mine because I wanted to really devote myself into it. So Greek history happens to be that. I'm an amateur archaeologist, I guess, reading books about Greek history. There's a lot of art that survives that the Greeks painted on their pottery, which I find is really useful as a cartoonist. You can see what they look like, what they dress like, what everything that they did in their society was captured in their vase painting, and it exists because people dug it up and kept it. So I think that's kind of just an interesting way to research.
It's fascinating. The painting on the pottery that it survives kind of creates a motif for a modern day comic strip.
Yeah, it tells you in very clear language, without using words, what they were doing and how they marched together as soldiers. They captured a lot of their societal life on pottery, and in other places as well. There's still surviving texts and things like that. But I just find that interesting. I find myself sometimes posing the soldiers in the strip right out of a scene from a vase painting, and I kind of build the strip from that.
So much for the passion, so much for the origins of your interest. What is work like so far as a comic strip creator? Well,
so far I've been a mole working in a hole in the basement, and I've actually just come up for some light in the last week or so, and it's been really exciting. It's been a completely new experience for me. But the last 18 months has been purely drawing and refining and sending packages out to editors.
How is that like the editing of a book? Say, did your characters actually get refined? I mean, the caricatures, I should say, have they been refined too?
It goes through a layering process where you just make it better, sort of bit by bit. And my wife plays a big role in this, by the way. She reads my stuff and she helps me take out extra words and phrases that you can make the strip shorter and tighter, and it just gets better that way as well. So it's a family affair down in or up in Chelsea, yeah, lots of changes. I had lots of good feedback along the way, and it's a work in progress.
Tell me about the what must be the overarching change, namely the one where you quit your job as a professional engineer. How hard was that to do?
Well, there were factors at work there, and so I was ready for a change. But I also realized that to go after a career like this, it couldn't be in a half measure. I had tried it a couple of times using a leave of absence and spending sort of 4 months into the project, but this kind of thing takes more time, and so I just decided that I couldn't put a toe in the water anymore. I had to jump off the diving board.
I suspect anyone, and I've got notes in front of me. I doodle all morning long, even while I'm on the radio, and I suspect anyone with paper and any kind of inclination to doodle imagines launching a comic strip. It's a dream for many, many people, I'm sure, but it's a hard one to realize. How hard is it to get yourself published in a paper?
It was a dream of mine, and I think everybody should follow that dream if they've got it. It's difficult. You face rejection at a lot of different steps along the way, and you just have to learn to deal with that and keep moving forward.
And how many times did you try to get into the Citizen?
Well, this is my third comic strip over a 10-year span, as you pointed out, and even in this case, although there was some really good initial positive feedback, and I just want to thank Graham Greene at the Citizen for being that bright light. It took a lot of effort to convince more people and to make it what it is that you're seeing today. It's getting its debut this morning.
Can you make a living publishing a comic strip in a paper?
I think a few people can, and I'm not there yet, but I want to get there.
Gary Larson type people, I guess.
Well, he's a creative genius, so I mean, yeah, and others. I would say Lynn Johnson is another well-known Canadian.
Sure.
Pulls it off.
Give us, if you can, a brief story arc. What's going to happen in Atticus?
Well, they go through basic training. These guys are recruits. They're a little bit reluctant. They go home and have day jobs, so they're not professional soldiers the way you think about it in today's modern armies, whereas the Spartans are. And I think that's this interesting contrast where there's a David and Goliath story going on. But they use their wits and their powers of reason to get themselves out of scrapes. That's the premise.
Well, it sounds good. Good luck so far with the launch and everything, and best of luck in the future.
Hey, thanks very much.
That's Jeff Burney. He's the creator of Attica, a new comic strip that will appear in the Ottawa Citizen for 6 weeks and starts today.